Okay, so the Excel functionality that we've added for writing formulas is pretty special. It doesn't require Creo, so I'm just going to minimize this so it's kind of out of the way. The way it works is it allows you to use a Nitro-CELL execution worksheet to identify a worksheet object. And then if you look down through the formula list, you'll see a function called write formulas. The way this works, if you scroll over here, you can see the instructions for how to use it. You can use a formula or a registry variable that we've defined previously. Today, we're just going to be focusing on a formula. The formula has to just be a text field that represents the Excel formula that you're going to write. We automatically take care of the repeating of cell ranges and things like that as it goes, depending on where you're going to write the information to. So you'll notice here that you can also write to a specific target worksheet and a specific target cell address. That can be a range also. So the way it works is quite simple. And to give you an example of where you might start with this, I've got some test data here. So if I wanted to come in and say, give me the minimum value for this row of information, well, that's an Excel formula as you see right there. I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to come over to this location, and I'm going to enter in a text value for that formula. So that formula is identifying the same data that was on the other sheet. And now I just need to identify where I want to write that information. So if I type in test underscore data, which is the name of the worksheet that we're going to be writing to, and then the cell reference where I want it to go, I could write it to just one cell here, like H5, and overwrite what's already there, or we could write it from H5 to H15. So let's do that. So we'll go H5 to H15, and when we run this, you'll notice that just that quickly, it has written that same formula and copied and indexed its cell references all the way down as it's gone. So we could do the same thing if we wanted to, say, copy that same formula, instead flip it around so that it's max instead of min, and index it over one column. So we'll say go from I5 to I15 and run that. You'll notice that just that quickly we've added our max function to pull that information. So that's pretty easy going vertically. What about horizontally? Well, you can do that too. So if I wanted to summarize the data that's in this column, you could see here is the formula for it. And I'm just going to come back over, and in this case, we're just going to paste it. Well, it doesn't work if we paste it like that. So we're going to put it in as a piece of text. And I'm going to copy this function down, and I'm going to copy this from here to here, but my target is going to change to be this location across. So we're going to go from C16 to G16. So we'll go C16 to G16, and you'll notice that when we run that, it does give us the totals for each of the columns. And now the next question is, what about what if I want to give the total for the whole table? Well, I could specify the range manually, or you can also use a named range. So if we take a look at the name manager, we have already set up a named range called my data, and if we highlight it here, you can see it's highlighting that specific range of cells. So we can actually come in and say, I want to write this data here, but I want it to be, instead of a specific cell reference, I want it to be the name of the range my data. And in this case, we're going to write it to a specific cell called C17. So we'll put in C17. Now when we run this, it will write all of the formulas again and then write off our final summary for the table data. So that's basically how the write formulas function works. And